do I start? Easy stuff first, I guess. Hi, my name is Matilda, 25 this year, just turned 25. If you're watching this on 8th of March, that's International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day to you. And happy belated birthday to myself, because I just turned 25. Thanks for watching this video. Whoever you are and wherever you are, hope you guys are safe and without COVID. I know we had like 24,000 to like 26,000 cases in one day. I hope you guys are okay. And yeah, today I'll be sharing my story of how I almost lost my life because of an ectopic pregnancy last year in January 2021. So let's go, I guess. So if I were to track back, I think it was Jan 25th of 2021. I went for a gym session at Gympod, and I had was preparing actually to do my recording for On The Beat, which is where I was doing spin at as an instructor. I came home and it was just a normal day. I even, like managed to cook myself some lunch. I went to, like do work because I'm working from home. And like I still could cook and everything, the lunch or something, when I realized something was wrong lah. What happened exactly was trying to go to the washroom. I found a lot of trouble trying to stand up, and I couldn't really like walk back to my desk. So I thought something was wrong already. And so what I did next was try to Google the nearest clinic that was around me, and I realized that a lot of them were closed because at that time it was already 4 p.m. So I went to an A&E instead near my house. I took a Grab there. I didn't bring much with me, just like one jacket, because I knew that hospitals were very cold and that I might be there for a while, so I just wanted to bring like water and stuff. So when I sat down there waiting for my turn before the doctors called me, I was trying to figure out like some insurance stuff already, because I was very afraid that, okay, if in the event that I stayed there, would it be covered by the insurers? So I was talking to my insurance agent the whole time and trying to fill up some forms, right, along the way. So I went for a urine test as well, the first thing I did when I went there. And this is where it starts. At this point in time, I went to the doctor's room, like his office, and he was an old man. I don't even remember his name now. And he told me, Matilda, you're pregnant. I didn't know what to do with the information. So I asked him, are you sure? Are you sure I'm pregnant? Because I don't think I am, Then he said, yeah, we're pretty sure. We did a few tests. So yeah. I told my boyfriend after that though. Straight away I FaceTimed him and told him that I was. He didn't know what to feel because he was packing up my stuff at this point. I thought it was appendicitis. I also thought it could have been rhabdomyolysis, the one where, the spin injury. So yeah, okay, pregnant, right? So they said I can't do a CT scan now. It's time for you to do an ultrasound. So when I did the ultrasound, it was so weird, and the gel was really cold on my womb. It felt so weird. And I just didn't know what to say. I just, went along with it. I didn't know how to deal with the shock, right? That I was pregnant. So I just went along with it, and I was dismissed after that. I went to sit down for a while. At this point in time, the pain was rising in my tummy, because I couldn't sit up properly, right? I couldn't sit like this. I was always crouching and in a very weird position, so I felt very uncomfortable waiting as well. So then 1 to 2 hours later, they brought me into some room, and then they said, okay, this is an ectopic pregnancy. Okay, if you guys don't know what's an ectopic pregnancy, let me go and get a Google search right now. So what happens is, whenever it occurs when a fertilized egg implants and grows outside the main cavity of the uterus. So it often happens in the fallopian tube, which is my case. So if you know, it's a bit graphic, but like imagine there's two fallopian tubes. The baby was actually growing on my left fallopian tube. Yeah. I mean, at that point it didn't hurt, right? Knowing that there was a baby that was outside where I was supposed to be. But what hurt was that they said it was already dead. Sorry. It was already dead and like they can't save it anymore. And I had to do an emergency C-section or like whatever procedure it was to take it out, right? In that moment, like I was shocked lah. Like, oh, okay, so we're just gonna go straight to surgery now, right? I wanted to be saved so bad, and I was so worried because it meant that I was being selfish, right? The gynae came. It was another lady. She performed the surgery at like 10 p.m. that night. And I stayed the night, I think like 1 or 2 nights there under observation. The next morning though, like what hurt a lot as well was that she told me that there was 700 ml of blood that was in my organs, which was why I needed to do the surgery ASAP or I could have died. So, like, I don't even know why I'm crying now because it's over and I didn't know what to cry for. Like right now, like I'm crying because I'm mourning the baby that I could have had, but I'm also crying because I could have lost my life. Why do I have to choose which one to like cry for? Okay, I promise that I'll keep my shit together for like the first few minutes. But this is damn hard. This is so hard to film. Like, this was the worst day of my life. And I'm trying to make sense of it. Like, I don't know what I did. So, okay, I also tried to ask the doctor, like, was there any reason why this would happen? And like, she said that honestly there's no like actual cause to it unless you're genetically, like I think there's some genetic overlap or something. If you have some sort of gene, you are prone to get it. Even online it doesn't show me anything. Like it just says that if you have like a potential STI, then maybe you have a chance of getting it, or if you're over 35 years old. Okay, so the main reason why I wanted this video to go live on International Women's Day is because I want to take back my power. And today I'm taking back my power by sharing this story with you guys, because I think that I've hidden it for quite a long time, for 1 year already. And I'm so sick and tired of being silent about my own story and caring about what people think. Because at this point, I've already cried to you guys. I'm not scared anymore of what people think. I shouldn't be anyways, right? So, continuing on our story, I was discharged a few days later, like 1 to 2 days later, and I went home and I just, like, something was nagging at me aside from the whole thing. So at first I didn't know how to react lah. Like, I mean, I told my parents and they were both very, very open about it. And they were honestly just so amazing about it. They were supportive of me, and as long as I like was safe, that was the most important thing to them. So when I went back home to my own place, I couldn't really walk up the stairs because I had like some scars. So the operation left me, it was a keyhole operation, right? And it left me with like 3 scars, 2 on my hip bones, 1 on my belly button, like inside of it. Because it was a keyhole surgery, same as how you would do appendicitis. So yeah, I went home, you know, I tried to live life as normal. And I didn't think too much about it until I thought like, oh wait, did insurance manage to cover it? So guys, the answer is no. My debt was up to 24k at that point in time. And well, I'm still in debt. And I'm proud to say that like we're almost halfway through, and more than halfway through actually. And I'm still trying to pay it off, but yeah, I don't know what to mourn. Like, I had a script written and everything. And at this point, I feel like I've gone off script a lot of times already. But I just really wanted to capture like my raw emotions and also my story, really, of this traumatic event. I would dare say it's a traumatic event. I mean, until today, it left me in pieces, right? Like I'm crying still about it. So yeah, this is me trying to own and accept that this has happened to me and that I will come stronger out of this situation. And I am stronger now. Like, I believe I'm much more stronger than I was like a year ago. Because a year ago, me can't even tell this story without fully breaking down and just shutting everyone off. So I've come quite far already lah. So how did the rest of the people around me take it? Well, I lied to everyone at the beginning. I actually didn't tell anyone the truth. Like, I would tell them that I had appendicitis because appendicitis and this ectopic pregnancy has the same operation, which is keyhole surgery, like I mentioned just now. So no one really questioned much of it and I could move on with my life. But of course, there were some points I wanted to tell my friends, so I did. Like, if I felt like the situation was right, I did tell some of my friends, and they've been the absolute kindest to me, and they have been so supportive of my well-being and also my progress in healing from this. So I think I'm really, really blessed in that way. I have a very good support system. Speaking about support system, my main one was my partner. I messed up so bad. I kept him out of the loop and in my feelings for a good 1 year. Like, I never let him have a chance to help me in any way. And because I wanted to handle it on my own, like, I thought that, okay, look, like, I'm not a baby, like, you don't have to hold my hand, you know. I thought I could get through this on my own. But turns out it's pretty damn difficult and I couldn't have. It was too tough for someone to take on by themselves, you know. So this year, I started letting him in a bit more and to let him own the fact that he also went through this same traumatic process as I did. I mean, I lost a baby, but he also lost his baby as well. So I'm trying to let him in a little bit more nowadays lah. But it's really damn hard too because I have been so independent for a very long time that I thought that, okay, I can get through this myself too. But this is just a toxic trait of mine lah. With my colleagues, I didn't dare tell them. I think being a woman working in the corporate world, it's a bit hard to tell your bosses and your colleagues that you went through something so traumatic that you can't even pick up the pieces anymore and not be seen as a liability, because I would have definitely been seen as someone who was probably incapable to do her job. Which I'm not, okay? Like, I'm 100% capable to do my job. Just that I compartmentalized every single thing ever since then. So I never really fully allowed myself to accept this whole situation happened to me at all. Even in the workplace, I did my best and I did whatever I could. But I never let anyone in. So, another regret there. I also wanted to share part of, you know, the impacts that happened after, like consequences. So, I was constantly having relationship problems. We were always fighting over this same topic because I never let him in. And I just never felt like I should let him in anyways because he would never understand, right? I mean, I lost a fallopian tube and a baby at the same time, so I thought he would never understand. But now I think we're much better, so it's a good thing, I would say. I'm quite happy that we're in a better place now. I hated my body. I really hated my body. Like, I would want to work out so much just to be able to forget that this traumatic event even happened to me. And I would try and erase like that memory of me ever going through this event, right? But now I'm trying to learn how to learn the scars. It's a part of me now, I've accepted it. But learning to love it, it's a bit difficult. And I still find myself thinking like, oh my god, like I hate myself, I hate how I look. But yeah, it's a work in progress and I know I can get there one day lah. Social media, I've been hiding it from you guys for the longest time. I want to be more open and honest about my experiences. I want to be a contact person, you know, in the case like, or if this ever happened to you, like I want to be that person. I think I can be a beacon now, or I can be someone to guide along the way, and I just want people to be happy lah. So I think the social media part, like, I'm done hiding from you guys lah. Like, I was hiding for a good 1 year anyway, so it's quite bad. I questioned my entire existence. Like, I'm a woman. Isn't that... Oh god, the tears are coming. Isn't that my main purpose? To reproduce and to give life into the world. Like, oh my god, like, I haven't dealt with this part yet. Talking about my self-worth and just performing like how a woman would. Like, I mean, how is it that my body couldn't function the way it was supposed to? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for crying, but like, why couldn't I just give birth? Or like, why couldn't I just carry a baby like how everyone else could? Okay, I also just want to say that I'm sorry if the video that you're looking at is all jumbled up and all over the place. I'm really sorry for that. I'm trying my best to tell my story in the chronological order, and I hope you can respect the space that I'm having right now. But the reason why I wanted to do this video was because I actually was inspired by a post from Something Private Pod. So Something Private Pod is a podcast that I've actually personally been on as well, sharing my story about cyberbullying. What they did in November was that they actually had a feature piece on one lady who shared her experience about having an ectopic pregnancy. And when I saw her post and like the recounts of her entire story, it inspired me to think that like there is life after this and there's still hope, because I thought that I was the only person in the world. Just to share, like, for ectopic pregnancies, it happens in 1 to 2% of all pregnancies in the world. I'm not here to compare any other types of pregnancies, healthy ones, abortions, miscarriages, but I'm just here to speak on my own experience for ectopic pregnancies. So I thought mine was such a rare case that no one else has ever been through anything close to mine. So you can't imagine like the amount, like, I felt so alone, like no one else has gone through this before. And when I saw that post, right, I thought that, oh my god, like, I'm not alone anymore. I'm not the only person who has this experience. It's just damn difficult, because it's so hard to just talk about this topic again. Like, sometimes when I tell people this story, it's like when I'm reliving the whole thing again. Do I want to necessarily go through that? No. But it still hurts until today. I was inspired by her because she showed me that life, there is a second chance lah. Like, I was saved for a reason. What? I didn't die on that operation table because maybe like this was a sign from the universe, like, hey girl, like, wake up your idea. You're gonna get better, and you're gonna bring inspiration to the world. You're gonna bring hope to the world. Like, that's how I feel about the situation, you know what I mean? Let's continue. Fast forward a year later, right now, I have made peace with what has happened to me. I have accepted it now fully, that this traumatic event did happen to me, and this is my experience to share with everyone, so they can learn from whatever I've learned from, and hopefully I can inspire young girls to not take their health so nonchalantly and to take it more seriously. So I do have hope that because of modern technology, I am able to have a kid again next time. I am, after all, one fallopian tube down, but I believe that there's so many other ways to get children, that it's not just the natural way, so I'm not worried about that anymore. I still cry. Like, if you guys have noticed, I've been crying for the past probably 10 minutes plus. But every day gets better. I am happier and I have a thirst for life now. Why I say that is because I'm much more happier. I tend to do things without thinking too much nowadays. Like, I like to be more honest with people, to be more in the moment, to spend time with my loved ones. I think I'm much more present now in the moment. So I think that's a really good thing for me. I'm not so scared anymore. Like, I want to be able to take life by the balls. And, you know, like, even though sometimes I do work myself dry, it's mainly because I really want to clear this debt. I know that if I clear this debt, then maybe I'll be happier and that I'll be much more at peace. So yeah, I think that's how I am now, fast forward a year later. I'm much more open. I want to share my experience actually. I think it's going to be very important to tell this story because I know that it's a very scary story and it's a terrain like very unknown to everyone. So hopefully it brings about awareness about ectopic pregnancy survivors. It's a slow build. On my own reproductive system health, I am slowly trying to build up to going for more visits and trying to figure out like what is happening down there. I am still afraid, like very afraid actually, of finding things that I don't want to find. So that might be a challenge for me. But I'm really trying to be optimistic now and to be as happy and live my life as happily as possible. This space is free of judgment. Please feel free to leave comments about your own stories or feel free to reach out to me privately on DMs as well. I'm here for you. I just want you to know that as much as this is my journey, I wanted to share this story because I know how impactful it will be to other people and that hopefully you can learn a few things from me as well. For this next segment, I'll be looking at the ultrasound scans from a year ago. I've kept them hidden away from the world for a very long time because I'm just so scared of accepting this whole traumatic event. But now that we've gone through the whole roller coaster of emotions, I think I'm finally ready to look at the ultrasound scans. Okay, so first up, what I'll be looking at is a piece of paper, the ultrasound scan for my pelvis. So it says here the history is UTP positive, that is the urine test. And the words ectopic pregnancy is written right after that with a question mark. So the technique was a transvaginal ultrasound scan of the pelvis being performed. So there's a findings. Thickening of the endometrium of the uterus, measuring 1.52 cm in thickness. So no gestational sac is identified within this endometrium and there is no fluid collection. Within the left adnexia, there is a solid nodule with internal cystic component. This is suspicious for a gestational sac located within the left ovary. It measures 1.9 and 0.9 cm in size. Within the gestational sac, a fetal pole is seen measuring 3.06 mm in size. That's the baby. I think this corresponds to 6 weeks and 0 days of gestation. I was 6 weeks pregnant at that time. There's evidence of cardiac activity and fetal motion compatible with a viable fetus. A yolk sac is seen within the gestational sac. The right ovary is visualized and it appears normal. Free fluid, this is 700 ml, is presented within the pelvic cavity with internal echoes. This may represent hemorrhagic fluid. Okay, so I had to breathe a little bit. But I think I'm ready to see the ultrasound. Oh god. I really don't know what to make of it because I haven't seen it in like 1 year. God, I think I really tried to forget every single thing because now the images don't even make sense to me. We've seen the ultrasound, we've talked about the situation. I don't really have much to say anymore. I think I told you guys all the stories that I've been hiding from everyone for 1 year now. I do have words of encouragement if you guys want to stick around and hear it. I do know now that there is life beyond just a traumatic event. I know that I have an amazing support system. My partner is 100% there. Okay, he's not here now, but because he's busy working. But I know he'll always be there to support me through all this, like how I'm trying to support him as well. Just hope that I will be able to find peace in all of this soon. I think it's still very difficult for me to relive the day lah, because it was the day that almost took my whole life away at 24 years old. I hope you guys have learned something from me, and I hope that my truth, it definitely set me free, but I hope you guys found some kind of value towards my story, and that please reach out to the people around you, make sure that they're okay, and then make sure that sometimes I think people like me, I'm very stubborn. Like, I don't like to tell people my problems because I never want anyone to worry about me, but I find it a bit toxic. Along the way, I kind of forgot how to ask for help. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Show up for your friends, show up for the people that you love, be there for them, and yeah, life gets better. I am happier now. I'm sorry for lying to you guys. I'm sorry that I wasn't strong enough back then, but I hope that my truth will be able to inspire some of you. I don't really have much to say anymore, so I'm just gonna end the video here. But thank you so much for watching from the bottom of my heart, and thank you for the people who reached out previously when I posted a few stories in January talking about my experience. I didn't really give full detail back then because I actually just started therapy at that point in time. Well, we started therapy in October, but me wanting to really sit down and figure how I feel about this whole feelings and everything, it only came like in February. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good week ahead, and stay safe everyone.